Hi guys, welcome back to another daily tarot card. This is another timeless reading for you guys. Again, I don't know if I'm going to go back to doing dailies, but I'll try and post as much as possible. So we're pulling from the Maccabee Tarot. We have the hunting of crystals. I feel like with this, it's very much like reluctantly healing, or I feel like finally getting time to it. I feel like a lot of us, things have slowed down. For us, it's been like 15 months of nonstop go, 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 go. And I feel like now it's just like we've shifted. We're coming into this time where, the high holidays of Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur here. So it's like, the universe like forcing us to sit down into meditation, self-care. I feel like a lot of this is self-care, especially as we go into the reading. I feel like the Seven of Crystals, they're talking about like money coming in. I love the fact it's sunflowers, because sunflowers have been very prominent for us. Like, we planted sunflowers late in the year. I really didn't think they were going to bloom. They were growing so big and beautiful, but they weren't blooming. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, we're heading into October. October's still a pretty warm month, you know what I mean? So I'm just like, but we were getting frost. So I was afraid that the frost was going to kill it off. And thankfully, they're still thriving, and they're, all of them are blooming. And it's just like, we just keep feeding them and taking care of them. And we're just like, hopefully we'll be able to see all of them in full bloom. But also the bittersweet part of it, as you kind of see them like kind of drooping here. It's like the same thing is happening with the sunflowers. It's like, the benefit of the beauty is that, one, we get to feed the animals of the earth. We sit there, we take some of it and we put it out for the animals, but we're also laying the seeds out on the counter for like 3 days, and then we're sitting there and putting in an envelope, and we're going to put those out next year. So it's like repurposing it. It's like, giving half of the flour to, or if not more, to the birds, and the animals, allowing them to, get ready for winter and, harvest and stuff like that. But also, sitting there and able to enjoy the beauty again next year by God's grace. You know what I mean? We go to the Massacre of Bones. This is like our messenger in this kind of tarot deck. But I feel like this is another positive sign. I feel like with the eyes being darkened, I feel like this is very much given into your intuition, your clairaudience, clairvoyance. This is the King. So King of Bones, I feel like in this one is the King of Wands. I feel, again, given into your intuition. I love the 3 skulls on her head gown here. I know you can't see it. You can really see it because I found this beautiful sign, and I really wanted to kind of feature it on my reading. I just thought it was brilliant. But I feel like this is giving into your intuition. So my son is very intuitive. Like, he sat there and I was buying something for Sonny, and he's like, no, Mom, you shouldn't buy it because we've never used, like, it's a whitening spray you're supposed to spray on there. I was trying to find something to help whiten his teeth, like keep his teeth clean. And they had this powder stuff that you could buy, and I'm like, I don't know about that, because, like, you put it on his food. But this was something you spray on his food, and I was just like, well, it's kind of more reputable because it's actually from a store we trust. And my son was like, no. And I was putting it in the cupboard. I didn't spray it on his food yet. I put it on the cupboard, and then Spirit again was just like, no. So I'm just like, okay. I got the receipt out. I put it by the front door, so next time we go to the store, we'll return it. But, Massacre of Bones. I'm used to, maybe that's a sign to pull from the Enchanted Tarot deck. They're talking about like a leadership role. Like, I've been getting a lot of messages about going back into what I love. And I remember, like talking about getting back into this. And it was just like, I've been still doing private readings. I've been posting as much as I can with, other people that I follow, like messages that really resonated with me and stuff like that. Because this does take time to sit there, film, find a deck that resonates with you, post it to every channel. Commands a legion of followers, knowing everyone's strengths and driving them towards a common goal. I feel like, especially with this kind of message, is like healing. Like, I know someone that I'm very lucky to and blessed to have in my life, where it's just like we encourage each other. You know what I mean? It's just like the most perfect friendship ever, where it's just like when they're down, or laughs and giggles, kikiing. It's just like, what a blessing to have someone like that in your life. And I feel like this is where it's like helping everybody move to that common purpose, that common understanding. 2 of Daggers is the 2 of Swords. I feel like they're saying like having to make a decision here, but I feel like this is like not having all the information, I feel like, honestly, I feel like someone is taking a risk with you. You know, I know that doesn't sound very pleasant, but I feel like this is where spirit is just like, you know, someone sits there and, you know, someone like, you know, maybe painting, or I see someone painting. You have a gift to offer, and someone sits there and approaches you with an offer, and this is where, you know, this could be like a work job or something. With me, they told me to stay, and I feel like this is where they're saying this time, like, you know what I mean, to make up for the lost income in that area is to do this. They actually showed me a vision of it, so I'm going to follow what spirit says, and I've hear some reluctancy from my kids. So, you know what I mean? It's just like doing what they're telling me to do, and I feel like giving more into my arts. I feel like if I do what the other thing, if things don't pan out, I feel like that's where I'm going to get pushed back from my kids, and, you know, I don't want to cause more damage because they've been through enough through their life. But with the massacre of crystals, so master of your domain, the ruler of fields and mastering in its craft, being level-headed enough to know when it's time to take a leap and when it comes to time to be frugal. So I actually was, and I shared this with you guys, that, you know, they were talking about being frugal. You know, the last cards that I pulled earlier, or last week. It depends how you see the week. But it was just like where I was just like, you know, all these charities that I always give to, it's just like, I don't have that money anymore to, you know, give here, give there. But it's just like, you know, even if it's like, you know, what I know I can handle, and it won't, you know, damage us in any way. It's just like, you know, I'm open to that. You know, this is where it's the 8 of Daggers. I feel like we're going to get this uneasy energy as we head into Christmas. You know, that anxiety of like getting the perfect gift for everybody and spending so much money on certain people. It's just like, you know what I mean? I feel like this is where spirit is like, don't worry about it. Like, we already have a game plan. You know, with myself, is you know, knowing that my needs are always taken care of. Our family's needs are always taken care of because I'm a driven hard worker. I'm not worried about that. But I feel like because of the way that my job works, because it is sales, it's just like, you know, at that time of year, you know, where things slow down. It will pick up again with the busier season, but, you know, we'll see how that goes. But I feel like also where this is where spirit is just like, there's other ways. You know what I mean? I had stuff that I wanted to put on Marketplace. I'll put on those up. You know, still doing the things, taking care of things that I need to take care of. You know what I mean? It's just like utilizing our time in other areas. You know what I mean? And this is where I feel like spirit is just like things will turn out in that way. I feel like that, especially the person I was talking about, I'm very lucky to have in my life. I feel like taking the leap of faith of changing jobs. I got to message her and let her know that. I know she's going to watch this, but just in case I forget, because sometimes I go to message people and I completely forget what I was about to say. But again, I feel like this is unwavering blind faith, where it's just like, you know what I mean? A lot of us have that relationship with whomever you believe in. And I feel, and I'm not trying to preach to anyone, but I feel like this is like, even if it's your higher self, even if it's your parents, whomever, it's like just having that faith, knowing that things will turn out. And it's like, it may not look like last year with us because obviously our situation has changed. We moved and everything else and been playing catch up since, you know what I mean? And this year has been very different than the previous year. So I feel like, again, it's just having faith. They told me to stay, like, you know, in a certain situation. So I'm doing that. And it's just like, keep going, keep building, keep learning, keep evolving, just, you know, keep going. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's like, don't backslide into old things. You know what I mean? Again, with that healing. It's like, you know, as much as the healing is taking place, because we do have the 3 of Daggers, you know, with us, it's like the 7-year mark of Shane's passing. This year has been a really hard, tough year, like the last 15 months, with a diagnosis of someone that I cared for very much so in my life and passing, another person being diagnosed at the same time, them going through biopsies and all that stuff, sorry. You know what I mean? It's just been a very trying year, and it's like, you know, these are the hard times where I know, like, you know, Shane was my backbone to a lot of things, where he was, you know, and I'm very lucky in this sense where I got my girlfriend here that she's able to, like, push me forward when I don't feel like I could push forward. She's a single mom as well. And she's just like, yeah, you can do it. You know what I mean? And I do the same for her. It's like, even though we don't see it in ourselves, we see it in one another, which is, you know, wonderful in a lot of ways, that we're able to encourage each other to push forward. I feel like with the bonus cards going along with this healing taking place, that's what I'm saying. Let this healing take place. Like things will slow down, so a lot of things may come right back to the surface. I feel like with the Five of Crystals is the Five of Cups. And I feel like, I feel like a lot of us, even Kristen Cavallari mentioned this with her brother, where she didn't understand why we felt this way. But I feel like because we healed and we've grown and we matured and we've come to this different place, I feel like that's where Spirit is like, I feel like you're always learning and healing when it comes to a grief journey, especially when it's someone that really means a lot to you. This is where I feel like the Six of Daggers, again with swords, where this is where that mom and that child are usually moving forward on the raft. I feel like it's moving to another destination. I feel like this is pushing our whole family forward. I definitely felt that when we moved here. I said, I just feel like, we're in a better place now. I feel like more opportunities will be available to us. I feel like us, a family as a whole, will sit there and be able to grow in different ways. I feel like there's going to be a lot more things, whereas we were so isolated before, and I feel like we needed that isolation, especially myself, to sit there and grow into who I am and heal those things that I needed to heal. Like, everyone's like, oh, you've been single for so long. But you know what? I was talking to someone and I felt extremely guilty. I'm not going to lie. I felt extremely guilty and sick to my stomach about it. So I feel like, it wasn't time. I still had to heal, and if I don't feel right about it, I'm not going to push anything, When it's the time, if it will ever be a right time, well, you know what I mean? It is what it is. But this is where I feel like, I feel like with our eye closed, I feel like giving into the meditation or just giving in. Instead of hiding ourselves, I feel like a hoodie kind of hides ourselves. We could put it over our head and keep ourselves warm. You know what I mean? I just feel like you could hide yourself more in a hoodie, and you know what I mean? Layers of protection, where it's down to like, opening up, the rib cage is seen as a cage. You know what I mean? Like you're and it's like it's guarding your heart. And I feel like, again, why they're showing the rib cage here, for some people it may seem very vulgar, but I feel like, again, is like opening yourself up to that healing. So I feel like even though, like I said, things have been go, 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 it's just like giving into that silence because that's meant to be there now. You know what I mean? Like there's still things that are healing. We're heading into Truth and Reconciliation Day on the 30th on Monday. And I feel like, again, a lot of things opening and allowing healing to, for us to move forward. It's like, you may not have indigenous blood in you, but you can recognize pain and hurt. It resonates with you, pain and hurt, and what they've been through. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's like having that compassion. I feel like have passion for yourself. Not to say that we're all anyway. Some people have gone through, hell on earth, as they say. Not to the point that they have, but some have, by the own hand of people that they're supposed to call family. So there's still some healing that needs to take place. So I feel like take the rest that you need, the rejuvenation you need, the healing that you need, the meditation that you need. Do things for yourself. I feel like this is a lot of like self-love, where like with myself, it's always been giving for the past 15 months. Now it's time for, rest, rejuvenation, healing, and giving into that, where they were telling me to go back into my arts, my purpose, So I feel like what you're being pushed towards, pay attention to your feeds, your social medias, or words that resonate with you. Like I watch Tribal Trails, I watch Mass for Shut-ins. We watch that every single Friday because that's Shabbat. And it's just like listening to the Word of God. And it's just like, that's what we believe in. I'm not pushing that on anyone, but it's just like those things that resonate with you, those things that really speak to you, that pull you towards your truth, your purpose, why you're here. I feel like that's where Spirit is just like, this time of healing is pulling you back towards your purpose. So things that resonate with you, you know what I mean? There's books that I've wanted to read. I hadn't had time to do that because I've been go, 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 go. That's where it's just like, now that things are the way that they are, maybe that's the time to take to start healing. So I feel like this is that time. Things that we thought that we've healed from, I feel like may come bubbling to the surface because we need to heal still, which is totally fine. Take that time to heal, rest, rejuvenate. This is the Star card. Now this is a time of peace, a time of harmony. Do not stress yourself out. If you got to work a little bit extra to make that Christmas money, like they said, it's going to be from the sweat of your brow. This ain't going to be from, I feel like there are going to be some financial blessings in here, some financial gifts. but I feel like some were already passed by. I feel like you were supposed to do some things, and obviously you didn't have the time to do that, or you're just too exhausted to. Like, I know with myself, I felt pulled to do something, and I just felt too tired to do it. You know, if I will feel that way again, then I'll do it. But we'll see what happens. You know, just I feel like this is a time to reconnect with family. I feel like this is a time to reconnect with yourself, and I feel like it's a gift of time. I feel like a lot of us are like, I wish I just had some time to sit there and just, you know, be with my family, you know, because a lot of us have been go 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 go. I know I have for the past 15 months, and I'm grateful for, like, you know, the last 3 weekends I had to work and, you know, different things, and it's just like, I'm glad this weekend I was just able to get the sleep that I needed, because I have not been sleep. I did not have time for sleep all summer, so it's just like, now it's time to rest, rejuvenate, recuperate, take time for yourself, do things for yourself. So I hope you guys enjoyed this timeless spread. May the universe bless you good. We'll see you for the next cards.